Okay, let's see, my new Kodak FZ55, oh, I forget the other part, Park or something like that. Maybe it's on the box, let me see. Oh, here we go, Kodak Pix Pro FZ55. Okay. A pig spot. That reminds me of chicken pox. That was, a childhood sickness, or disorder we all went through as children in the late 50s and early 1960s. I'm not sure if that still happens or not, but I never hear of it. Oh, okay. But, yeah, we always came out of it okay, But anyway, I made a video yesterday, Saturday, it was around noon, about my new Kodak camera. And, here it is again. It's the red one, the Pix Pro. Well, I learned an awful lot about it since then. And oh God, was I angry. Those don't come with memory cards. Some might, but most don't. And I took a 8 gigabyte memory card out of my Kodak Z16, which I demonstrated in the first video, which was a $25 camera I bought in the late part of 2015 or whatever. And it always did good. And I thought, oh, I'll just transfer that memory card. Well, what made me angry, this new camera, oh, I could film a video for 10 minutes. But then after 10 minutes, it would just cut off. It would just shut off. And then here's the thing about it. When I'd plug the cable into my computer, so I could replay it, or even take the memory chip out and plug in to the card reader on my PC laptop, it would be chopped up. And I'd say half a word, it would stop. And then it'd be about 10 seconds, and then the rest of the word, and the video would move again. And I thought, man, what is this ridiculous nonsense? But I found out by taking the video, dragging it to my desktop, an 8-minute video would take about 30 minutes for it to download. So I'd just sit there and do other things or whatever. And then, it would play just fine. But I was still limited to only being recorded for 8 to 10 minutes. That made me very angry. And I thought, is there a damn timer on this camera? And I checked through that, and yeah, it does have a timer. So people can time it like a video, and they want it to cut off after a period of time. But the timer on mine, though, in settings, it's turned off. Okay, so I'm all right there. But, the fact that it was all choppy. Okay, finally, what I found out, since yesterday, when I lost my temper and I left a message and told people, don't buy this camera, da-da-da. Well, if some people didn't buy it, I think it's the fault is due, because you can watch all these camera reviews and people talking about them, but not one person will tell you what kind of a memory card you need. They don't tell you. So you're just left like, duh. Okay, finally, I found out what was going on. It's in tiny, tiny print on the box. It tells you must have at least a class 10, but it's actually a label that was stuck on. You must have at least a class 10 memory card, and it from 64 gigabytes up to 500 gigabytes, because these little cameras, they are 1080 pixels, or HD. They are the full thing. To record videos that are higher than most of you watching, like like my videos, I think are either 320 or 480 pixels here on the internet. And so you have to have that. And you know what you're looking for. I wrote this information down because it's valuable. Nobody else will tell you in these damn videos except one man, and I'm going to leave his link below. It's going to be, look down in the comments, and you will. I'm going to paste the link to his video, because he explains this to where a person can friggin' understand what he's talking about. You know, and then what was on that small paste on label, it's like you need a microscope to friggin' see it. I had to use a flashlight and a magnifying glass to read that, but I'm like, oh, okay. You know, you need a SD, HD, and it could be the XC series, you know, or, you know, HC. But here's the thing about it. It must be, y'all listen to me. Open your ears. Write it down if you can. Class 10 or above. It must be at least a class 10 memory card. It has to be that. Alright. Now, here's what I'm going to do. You must have at least a 64 gigabyte card. I'm going to go with the 128 because it says that you can go up to 500 gigabyte memory card. A 128 gigabyte card is only going to cost you about $6 or $7 more than a 64 gigabyte card. So you might as well get the 128. Now, I'm sure the 64 gigabyte would do good if you just record videos about an hour long, and then after you do 3 videos, you know, plug your camera into your PC and delete those videos to free your memory up. But I went ahead and ordered the 128, you know, is what I did. You know, that way I don't have to worry about it. Okay? I mean, if I filmed sports games or weddings, I'd go with the 516 gigabyte is what I would do. But it takes a serious memory card for these little cameras. Sure, they look small. It looks like a child's toy, basically, but that's what it takes. You know, and, you know, as far as the megabytes per second, or this might be the Mbps, millibytes, I think is what they call this. You need the V90 SD card. So what you will need for these cameras, if you get just about any of these Kodak cameras that look similar to the one I have, if they have the 1080 HD, you know, video recording ability, you're going to need a V90 SD HC, and it can also be XC, you know, as well, you know, in the extension there, and it has to be a class 10, and you're going to need a 64 gigabyte up to a 164 gigabyte up to 516 gigabyte you can use in these cameras, but nothing less than a 64 gigabyte. A quality like Lexar or SanDisk or the top two, you know, because they're authentic. The price of a 64 gigabyte, like I'm explaining, will cost you about $10. The 128 gigabyte will cost you anywhere from $15 to $17. So you might as well pay $7 more if you have to. Get the 128 gigabyte. But I wanted to share this because nobody that demonstrates these cameras, you got many of them unboxing my new Kodak camera, nobody explains this. Nobody. And I must have watched many, 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 many videos. And I'm like, what kind of memory card? What kind of memory card? Well, you know, being nobody else will tell you, because even the link I'm leaving you, it doesn't apply to this particular camera. But it explains what each memory card from 64 gigabytes up, what performance it must have. And that's what this one requires. But all the videos, nobody will tell you. And, you know, made this video to share with other people. I'm not on here pretending to be a professional camera person. But I'm on here sharing what nobody else cares to share. And people should. We're here to help one another, you know. But what else do I need to add here? You know, yeah, I know I'm wonderful, so I'm not missing that, but I know y'all know that too, right? You know, that's why I need a video camera. I got to video myself even when I shave. Oh, well, but, you know, we're getting it figured out. We're getting it figured out. But, you know, anyway, I hope you all have a great night, a great day, and, you know, all that stuff in between, the enchilada, the chili con queso. By the way, what is my favorite food? You know something I like to see video? Restaurants, inside restaurants. You know, to where there's tables out, people are drinking cups of tea, iced tea, you know, different foods, seafood, different gravies. Oh, God. You know, that's a scene that I literally love, you know, in life. That's why I used to like to watch the old Columbo episodes. Because you would see that these rich people, they were arrogant and they would murder people in those episodes. And they'd treat Columbo like, hey, you're a peasant, you know, you're not worthy to be around us. But, you know, in the end, he'd be, no, sir, no, ma'am. You know, and he'd put them in their place. I always liked those episodes. That was pretty darn good, I'll tell you. Some good old stuff. But anyway, and Ed, I hope you're watching this because I want you to have this knowledge, and I'll left you a comment, Ed. You know, and it's how I learned this. And, you know, now I've added to my education. You know, all my life, I've been a person, I force things to be known to me. I don't like being a person I have to take the word of a store clerk or a parts store. No, I want to know. I want to know. When I was in high school, you know, I never participated in physical education, track, football, or any of that. I never did it. I belonged to band. I loved to play the piano and the organ, and I was a good trumpet player. And I played in some of the school bands. You know, I'd play the tuba for them because, you know, the tuba is a three-key instrument, just like in the baritone, just like the trumpet. So if you can play a trumpet, you can play the baritone or the tuba or whatever. And I love to play the piano. I'm not as good as Elton John or Mantabini or Farron and Fletcher. No, I'm not that good, folks. Because I didn't do it long enough. Maybe I should have, you know. Just, wow. I just had so many other enthusiasm things. You know, I loved to work on cars. I wanted to learn to paint cars. I wanted to learn all of it. But you know, the thing about the automotive, all my interest in cars, motorcycles, I never had the desire to soup one up like the other guys did. I'm like, no. I want it all stock. I want it stock. I love stock cars, stock motorcycles. That's what I like. Except on my Harleys, I want drag pipes. I don't want mufflers. Loud pipes save lives on motorcycles. Because people can hear you better, you're less likely to get ran into. That is a rule and truth of thumb. Okay. But anyway, enough of this for right now. But I hope this has helped people. Okay? Now you know what kind of memory card to use. Best place to buy a memory card? Off of eBay. Office Depot, yeah, their prices bounce back and forth, but you gotta watch these brands because a lot of them are not authenticized. Lexar and SanDisk, they're all authenticized. You can trust their memory cards. I do know that. But anyway, later.